Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Panelcast. I am your host, AJ, and in this episode, I am going to be reviewing A Quiet Place, Day 1. That's right, I took my sweet ass outside and saw this movie all by myself. All by myself. And yeah, so that's what I did tonight. For those of you who are unfamiliar with A Quiet Place, or the franchise known as The Quiet Place, basically what happens one day is that in the first movie you were introduced to these characters, this family who has survived what is known as the apocalypse. These aliens had come down and they had killed everybody that made any noise and killed everybody and took over the planet. And so you're introduced to this family who had been surviving throughout this Holocaust without making a single sound or just lived in absolute silence. So there's two other movies. There's two movies in the franchise, and that would be A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2. Excuse me. This one is A Quiet Place Day 1, and it takes place and it shows you the lives of what happens on day 1 of the alien invasion. And instead of a all silent movie where we're on the edge of our seats and stuff, you get immediate action from the moment the movie starts and goes. At least that's what you're led to believe in the trailer. What actually happens in the film is kind of something completely different. You do get that run for your lives, oh my god, mass exodus. There's a lot of stuff happening, but it's not as it's not all that's happening in the movie. What we are instead is treated with a film about a very strong character. I'm trying to say these things without giving anything away, so please forgive me for spoiler editing myself. On this show, I give no spoilers. I try to give you all the information without ruining anything or giving anything away. On the other shows that I do, the panel cast and what have you, I do give spoilers away because we're doing full deep dives on to the films. We're discussing the films, what we liked about them, and what have you. So in that difference, being that it's a discussion, you get more spoilers. Here, because I'm just monotone, it's just me talking and reviewing the film, giving you my general overall thoughts on the film. I try my best not to give away too much as far as spoilers go. So I'm doing my best not to do that here. But in the film, you are met with a very strong person who is just trying to get from point A to point B. And sometimes point B is in the direction that everybody else is going, and sometimes it's not. And you're taken on a personal journey with this character through New York in what seems to be at least the first 3 days of the alien invasion. Now, there are some scary parts in the film. There are some edge of your seat jump scares and what have you. And because of the other two films, the spoiler of seeing the actual alien is taken away, and there's no scare or surprise in that matter, that you already know what the alien looks like. So they're just showing it right off the bat and not leaving it as like much of a big secret as it was, say, in the first two films. So that's already just given away, and they're just going straight out with that. With this film, though, is where that is different is that this is more of a personal journey. This is more of a it's not a horror movie. It's just something happens while horror movie is happening, and self-discovery is made, and things go on. I will say that you will spend more time watching people cry in this movie than you would think you would, and for reasons that you wouldn't normally do. So in that aspect, this movie stops being a horror movie and instead becomes a story and a story-driven film. And I enjoyed it a lot. Almost too much, because there was almost so much story that it was on the borderline of being boring. But not quite there. Almost. But I think they did a good job because the story and the emotions and everything that they were portraying really pulled you in and really had that in there. It just happened to be this story of this stuff happening to these people, and aliens just happen to be there while this is all going down as well. So the film stars Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, and Alex Wolff, along with Djimon Hounsou. And Lupita Nyong'o, for those of you who have seen her, who are unfamiliar with her work, she is Maz Kanata on the Star Wars sequel trilogy, the latest 3. But she really got her breakthrough role in 12 Years a Slave, to where she just came out of nowhere and just like said, "Here I am, look at me act. The rest of you don't know what the hell you've been doing all this time, but this is what you should have been doing," as far as an actor goes. And she received an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress that year, pretty much being like her first major film that she had ever done. So she brought all of that with her in this film, and makes you forget again that you're running for your life while everything else is happening. And so in that aspect, I think this movie gets the 28 Days Later rating. I texted Richard, my friend, who's on these podcasts sometimes, the panel cast with me, and it works at Chaos Customs. And I said, this movie is 28 Days Later good. And immediately I had the movie had his respect, because he understood. He understood that 28 Days Later, while there's amazing running zombies and all this stuff going on, it is really more of a journey of the people that are surviving and not just what's happening. So, and how they're surviving, and that's what you get here. This is Cloverfield without the shaky cam. This is it's 28 Days Later. That's all I can say is, so yeah, if you're a fan of the other two movies, this movie I think fits in nicely. I didn't stay long enough to see if there's an after credit scene, but from my understanding there isn't. Check it out for yourself. I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I did. But again, it's not a horror movie, and kind of in a funny, ironic way, I will tell you this. In this film, Frodo does go on another journey, and it's an epic one here as well. So, without saying too much, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Too much more, that is, I'll leave it at that. And I'll say thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of The Side Panel. A Quiet Place, day 1, out in theaters as of today. Go check it out. It gets a thumbs up, but not because of it's a horror movie, but because it's just a good character-driven story. And I think everybody will like it for that. So go check it out and enjoy it. In the meantime, while you're waiting on those, head over to ForbiddenPanel.com. Check out all of our podcasts, all of our stories we got going on. John Hotternet keep pumping out these awesome stories that he wants you to read. Justin White is putting out Shots from the Studio, his own little articles telling you and introducing you to the art that influenced him as a kid growing up, and even the art that's influencing now as an adult artist. Things that keep him going, and just, I don't know. It's a really cool short column to read. Doesn't take long. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And also head over to chaoscollectibles.com. Richard Braun's over there doing the best he can. selling toys and giving us history of toys and showing us how to customize your figures as well. A lot of people are enjoying watching that. I know I am. Learning a lot too. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode.